Picked up this Geeboon TC22 iron off of AliExpress, of course, and there's not too many reviews out there on it. The ones I did find were very good, saying it seems like it was developed by people who actually solder for a living instead of just mass production. This has, I believe, the C115, 210, 245 tips, and it does, I believe, support the common T12 ones if you get the right handle for it. So let's see what we got here. Let's open this little bag up. It looks like maybe an iron, some solder wick, and whatever else. Some tips. Oh, tweezers. Let's see, I think this is the 115 tip, or handle. Take that out in a minute. Some fine point tweezers. Oh, a couple things of solder wick. Stuck together. Oh, they clip together, that's kind of cool. Some 2mm and 3mm width. Clip those back together. Let's see what tips we got here. I ordered a handful. Okay, so it looks like these blue ones are the C245s. I got a IS and a 3.2D. And then let's see what these guys are. Some 210s with the yellow lids that are a 2.2D and an IS. Are these all 115s? Yep, a 115I, an IS, and a K. These things look freaking tiny. I'll pull one of these out. I've never actually used one of these, so let's see how small these actually are. Holy crap. That's the tip. That is tiny. That'll be nice for like HDMI pins and stuff like that. Very small surface mount stuff. I'll pull out one of the 245s as well just to show you that. So that's like kind of your standard size for probably general soldering. That's a little bent tip one. Go back in there. Let's see, what one is this? Okay, here we go. Probably a little more common one right there. It's the use that for like through-hole soldering and whatnot. Move those out of the way. Okay. Geeboon. Okay. Alright, so we have the 210 tip. Or handle, sorry. This should be the 245. Yep. Pull these out in a few moments. Got a user guide. I think you can actually update the firmware on these too. Maybe I'll go through that later. or a later video anyway. A couple more tips here, some more 245s and 210s. Quality card. Alright, here we go. Here's the main unit. So, it's the aluminum case, couple fairly sticky rubber feet, screen protector. Oh, broke the tab off. That's fine. USB port, what is that? USB-C. See if that'll focus. For firmware updates, maybe something else. The back we have, see, SLP, a ground, and the tool one. SLP, I'm assuming is for sleep for the stand. The iron will turn off or go into a sleep mode as soon as you set it down. So this should be the stand then. So they did offer two different stands for this thing. I got the, I guess you would say, premium one. Okay. What is that connector for? Oh, okay. So it daisy chains with this. So that'll go into the main unit. Let's see. Not sure why this isn't just bundled into that wire. Does this not go to this thing? Oh, the rubber foot's right here. Little QC thing. Not sure if this is needed or not. Maybe it's for the other stand. Yeah, I don't know. Put that to the side for now, and I'll grab the 245. 210, that's the one I grabbed. Okay, it's got a nice, like, silicone grip on it. Feels pretty good. It's like a silicone, or it feels like a silicone wire. So then you plug this into the back of the stand. Let me grab one of the 210 tips. Okay, those 210s are pretty small too, I like that. So you're actually supposed to, like, push these into this, I guess, to fully seat it, which I already did. So you can see with this 210 tip, you can get really close to whatever you're soldering. The 115 is going to be even closer for your fingers to the tip, so let me grab the power cord. Up in the top right of the screen, you can see it's the 210 handle connected. Sleep temp is adjustable. By default, it's at 160. Let's set this to like 350 or so. So 160 in sleep, I'll pick it up right now. And we are already at temp, ready to go. Set it back down, and it's already going to sleep. You can see the temperature dropping. If you quick tap the right button, you can switch between your presets. These are all adjustable as well. If you go to, I believe it's tools, yep, temp level. So 260, I never am going to solder at that. We'll do, let's just set them to 350. We'll do 380 and 400. So if we long hold it, we'll back out, back out, back out again. So now if we tap these, we got 350, 380, 400, and you can just set them right there. You can fine and adjust it with your dial left and right. If we go back into the settings, this change theme gives you this graph here, which has some info. I guess it's more so for if you're a nerd. So I'll pick up the iron right now, and you can see a spike in the green, which looks like it's the power usage. So it spikes up to 100 for a quick second and drops down to what looks like about 10% or so after it heats up. And your red line is your temperature. Yeah, that's your temperature. So it spikes up to 380 and sits there. I'll put the iron back in, and you can see it adjusting to 0% power and a consistent decrease in temperature. I guess that'd be interesting if you were hitting something that had a lot of copper on it. You could see like the percentage in a graph format. We'll go back to the standard one. Oops. So you can adjust your offset temperature here if you need to. You can go plus minus with it. There is calibration. I haven't read up on that yet. I'm assuming that it's going to do the same thing as the offset. It's going to say, hey, the iron's reading 350. How far off is it? This DTC, I forgot what that stood for. It's like dynamic temp calibration or something like that. What that does is if you are soldering something that has a lot of thermal mass, like a big ground plane, you can have this set so it'll bump up your temperatures and wattage to the iron to automatically compensate for that if you need more heat. That's disabled by default. I might mess with that in the future, but for now I'm just going to leave that as is. Peak power. This 210 handle will go up to 60 watts. By default it was at, what was it, 50 I think, or 45. So if you want to give it a little more juice when it needs it, you can. If you want to slow it down, you can, to maybe prolong the tip life. You got your sleep time, which I believe is the time from when you just tap it into the holder. You can set a delay on that. And these are, anything that's in tools is going to be specific to the handle you're using. In station we have a couple random things. That the buzzer volume was this at 5 by default. It's not very loud. It's kind of perfect at 5. Brightness, languages, there's probably, yeah, English and Chinese. I don't know what shut wake up is. I'm sure it says in the manual. Max temp is 480. You can lower that if you would like. The temp step would be for your dial if you wanted to go up, say, 1 degree at a time or 10 degrees at a time. I'm going to leave that at probably 5. And that's pretty much it. This did come with the latest firmware, the 1.25 in the bottom right there. They don't have a change log or anything that I noticed, so maybe that'll change in the future if they do any updates. But yeah, so it came shipped with the latest firmware. Figured this might be worth adding as well. Check the ground pin on the input to the tip. Let's see. Okay, yeah, getting 0.6 ohms. That's good. 0.5 to 0.6. Alright, a couple last things that I learned after looking through the manual and whatnot. Some of it was in there, some of it was not. So, this cable from early on in the video, this is for the other base. The other base, your tool connects directly to the station, and then you have a wire that goes from the sleep port to that base, and that's what tells it to shut off when it goes in there, or go into sleep mode when it's in there. So this setup, your station goes to the base, and then your iron goes to the base. I guess that this base is the premium one or whatever. It's the SDC02. And this wasn't in the manual, but just pulling on this silicone here, it is a little tough, but you can pull this off, and then you have your whole sponge right here that you can pull out if you need to replace it. So that's a lot easier than trying to jam it through that little hole. So I'll put that back on. It's a little snug of a fit, but not too bad. It's not like you're pulling that sponge out every day. There is your normal sponge in there too. I typically don't use those, but maybe I'll start now. For the temperature calibration, I did try out my trusty old TS100 right here. At about, when I have this set to say 400, it overshoots on this thermometer by about 8 to 10 degrees. I tried again with the 245 knife edge tip, and that was about 8 to 12 degrees high, so it's only a few degrees higher than the TS100, and I very well could offset that or try out the calibration in there. I'm not going to worry about that though. That's only a few degrees. And same with the 210 knife edge was within like 6 or 8 degrees of the set temperature on the TC22. Another thing I messed up in the other videos is when I was taking these off, I was using like this slot right here. You don't have to. There's actually these notched ones on the side of this oblong oval type thing. That's where these get pulled off right here. So if I grab the 245, put it in there, you can pull it off all the way. And then when they cool down, you can move them to their slots, or you can have some on standby there. These other ones are to push your tips in. They don't go all the way through, so like for this knife edge, you could probably use either the left hole or the right one. So if I were to grab a tip from here with the correct handle, we'll grab it, we'll align it in the slot and just push until it stops. Not too hard, but make sure it's firmly seated. And then the station will pick up that it's the 210 handle, and you can adjust a couple handle specific options. It also does support the T12 like I said earlier. I think I have some of those tips right here. Yeah, so let's put this down. So these T12 tips are very common. for like the KS Jur or Quico stations, you can see here the overall length of the T12 is quite a bit longer, almost twice as long. So if you do have a bunch of T12 tips and you want a different iron or different station, you can do that. The one thing that I read in here is with the T12 handle. So if you're using your T12 handle, T12 tips, the power output for those is 60 to 70 watts. But if you use the 245 handle, that is rated from between 150 and 230 watts. So even though these 245s are smaller and everything, their wattage is basically double to triple. So you're going to get faster heat up, more stable temps with larger ground planes and whatnot, larger joints in general. The 210 handle, which is the medium sized guy right here, that says it can do 40 to 60 watts. So the small one, let me pull it out of here again. Station's not on. This thing is like, yeah, this is less than half the size of a T12, and it's basically the same wattage that it can handle. Oh, these actually say what they are on them too. That's kind of nice. All of these are the Geeboon or Geeboon tips that I got. All three flavors of them. So the 115 handle is not available if you're in the US for some odd reason. I messaged the seller, the actual Geeboon store, and they said, I don't know if they'll do this, I'm sure they will if you ask. They basically said to add, what was it? They said to add 2 of the 245 tips, and they will send me the 115 handle. So I had to order 2 of these, and they would send this to me instead. I guess they just made a note on the order. This kit is, I got the 210 245 kit. They come with, I think it's 2 tips each, so whatever 2 that was. And then I wanted 2 additional ones. So like we'll just say it was the IS that I wanted. I just added 3 ISs and they sent me the 115 handle. So that worked out for me. You would just have to message them. Maybe they'll fix it by the time, if you want this iron, you can order it. I'll put the link in the description and whatnot. But maybe they'll fix it. I made them aware of the issue, so. And these are all the Geeboon brand tips. They actually had very good ratings on their Ali store with like, I think it was like 200 or 300 reviews on them. So instead of buying the official JLC ones, I'm gonna try these out for now. I don't solder every single day. I have been more recently, but I don't think I need the official tips or anything. If these become an issue, then yeah, I will, but. So, what else did they send me? I don't know if they send this to everybody or not, or if it's just because I had to deal with some extra crap. They definitely did not get this for free or anything like that, so I'll tell you that right now. And they do, unfortunately, every item has a shipping cost on it, so every freaking tip has like a $2 or $3 shipping on it, and that adds up pretty fast. It is what it is, you know. I wanted this specific station, so you know, I paid about the same as like a I'm trying to remember. I was looking at like the Aixun, or however you say that one, the Aifen ones, the Sugon stations. There were a couple other ones at Yihua. I specifically wanted one that can support all 3 handles though, and a lot of them only do like a 245 and 210. And I did want this little guy just because I didn't know how small this actually was. This thing's freaking tiny. I don't see myself using it too much, but you never know. one thing I overlooked was this stand thing for the 115 iron. I am definitely going to be taking that off. I just wanted to show it. The one thing I don't like about it, other than it's huge, is it doesn't put it in sleep mode, and neither does in here. But if you touch, oops, if you touch this, it goes into sleep mode, or if you touch up here, it goes into sleep mode. I did find out though, if you put it in this little takeout hole, it shuts it down instead of sleep mode. I don't know why, but I guess I could just put it in there if I use it. So definitely gonna take this guy off, and if I do use this, I'll just put it in this hole here to put it in shutdown instead of sleep. But it's better than having it active the whole time.